If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Buffalo Fanatics Rico Report. We got breaking freaking news. Unless you guys have been sleeping under a effing rock, wake your ass up. We got ourselves a vacancy. A vacancy, you ask? Yeah, well, guess what? In unfortunate news, and I say this sincerely, in unfortunate news, Leslie Frazier, defensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills that's had this defense rocking since 2018, has decided to take a leave of absence. He wants to take some time off, maybe to reevaluate things. It could be something medical. Nobody knows. The big thing is this. There's a big vacancy right now as the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, and right now the fan base is really, I want to say torn, but the fan base, I've seen people really rejoicing in this, right? Kind of something like this. The Atlas King is saying, "Good riddance, Frazier." Frazier, he says, as he's a fraud. And I'm gonna stand on this. I'm gonna defend it, and I haven't wavered on it. I'm gonna stick to it. Sometimes we overreact, and when we look at what we see and what this defense has been doing consistently, it has to do with Leslie Frazier. And we sit here and want to poo-poo the man because when it comes down to playoffs, he doesn't show up. Well, guess what? This last playoffs that we just had, nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. So here we are. And right now, I've got folks really on the fence. Now, on a more serious note, shout out to my girl Heather. She's tuning in from the hot tub time machine, doing her thing. What up, Heather? What's happening? So here's the thing. On a more serious note, and thank you, John Hammer just said it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to use my man, and this, at least in my opinion, that's what I think it is, trying to use him as a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? As to these are the reasons why the Bills haven't been having success in the playoffs is because of Leslie Frazier and Leslie Frazier's defense, 13 seconds, and look what happened in the Bengals game, and they're playing defense way off. I ain't buying it because when we were rocking on that defense, it was, man, Leslie Frazier. Leslie Frazier's getting looked for head coaching jobs. Leslie Frazier this, Leslie Frazier that. Now, here's the deal. On a more serious note, if Leslie Frazier is taking time off for personal reasons, medical reasons, and there's something up, I really hope that he takes the time to really deal with what he's dealing with, because it's not common to see a defensive coordinator that's had this defense, a top 10 defense, you know what I'm saying, for 4 years straight, just say, I'm going to take some time off. Now, that being said, we all know the internet is a cruel place. We all know there are some people that are just nasty behind that keyboard that they will spew and type anything. We know that. And Leslie Frazier he's got family. He's got cousins, brothers, you know what I'm saying, nephews, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, grandkids, whatever the case is, that are on the internet and that see the stuff that's being said. And they probably say, Unc, Grandpa, you know what I'm saying? They're saying this, that, they're saying that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his colleagues are seeing all this stuff. And he's seeing this and be like, you ungrateful. He's pulling some Denzel shit probably right now. You ungrateful mother effers. You ungrateful mother effers. And that's somehow how I feel the Bills fans are ungrateful. I really do feel that way. I don't care what y'all say. Because we've had a top 10 defense and you have comments like good riddance. I hope we go and get someone. And fam, sometimes you're going to get what you ask for. I'm not saying that we're going to be a terrible defense. We're not. We've got too much talent on this team, and we are defensively run. We have a head coach that's defensive minded. But sometimes, man, he might say, you know what? Y'all want to look at me like I'm some kind of I'm the reason for the lack of success in the playoffs defensively. Okay, I'm gonna take a year off. I'm gonna let y'all see what's really good. You just never know. You just never know. But I feel I say a good chunk of Bills fans are really ungrateful. Don't forget where the hell we came from when we couldn't win a game worth of damn. We couldn't stop anything. We couldn't score at one point, and we couldn't stop a damn nosebleed. And now that we have a unit that's a top 10 offense, top 10 defense, you want to sit here and say good riddance. Now, on the flip side, sometimes change isn't a bad thing. Sometimes, just sometimes, it's a blessing in disguise for someone. Now, that someone, could it be McDermott? Could it be that? And guys, I'm getting right to the point. I'm not doing any fluff, man. I'm getting right to the point, right to the goods, right to the greats. So if you guys are appreciating this type of content right now, smash that like. It's the off season. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all smash that like for your boy. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this thing. All right. Let me get right back into my bag. We're about to find out what's really good in this offseason. Now, this could be a good thing. We hired Al Holcomb. Now, on brand. Let me just put it this way. I feel the Bills will do an on-brand thing. And by on-brand, what Bills normally do, right? A Billsy thing. Brian Daboll accepts a head coaching job and heads to the Giants. Oh, shoot, we have a vacancy. What are we going to do? If we go and get a new offensive coordinator, the whole system's going to change, right? But we have somebody waiting in the wings. Ken Dorsey, Josh Allen, what do you think? I want him. I want him to be our coach. I've been with him for the last 4 years. He's been my QB coach. Bring him back, please. Whatever Josh Allen wants, Josh Allen gets. Ken Dorsey, you're promoted. Here we go. By the way, shout out to my girl Kim Betts. Kim Betts says, "Yo, Rico, you got a tight, nice haircut. This is like a few days out. I'm roughing it right now, but I appreciate the love. Love it. I'm looking extra chocolatey today. You know, feel me? Anyway, let me keep rocking, right? So Ken Dorsey comes on and we promote from within. So we're gonna do a Billsy thing. We're gonna do a Billsy thing, and that is not a bad thing. Like on brand, we're gonna promote from within. And it's not a bad thing. Because I gotta tell you right now, based on how I saw the outcry for when Chad Hall left. Oh no, we lost Chad Hall. My gosh. It's a freaking receiver coach. We lost Chad Hall. What are we gonna do? People were losing their minds, right? And if Ken Dorsey were to somehow, you know what I'm saying, take a job somewhere else because somebody wanted him as their head coach, we probably would have went from within. Could it have been Chad Hall? Who knows? Could have we gone somewhere else? Who the heck knows? But we're going to be on brand. We're going to do what Bills do, and we're going to promote from within. It's not a bad thing because that tells us that we've got the talented people in-house to take over. So who will it be? Now, it makes sense to hire from within. Nothing changes. You know the personnel. You know how I rock. I'm the head coach. You know my philosophy. You know how I want things run. You know my structure. I could just bring you back in. So we've got linebackers coach Babbage. That could be a front runner to take on that defensive coordinator spot. We have defensive senior assistant Al Holcomb, recently brought in. Makes sense. So that could be the situation. And here's the deal. Al Holcomb, if he is the next man up, if you will, it's not a bad It's not a bad transition because I was listening. I went 4 years back. I went 5 years back when he was the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, right? When they brought in Chandler Jones out there, when they first brought out Chandler Jones, they had Tyrann Mathieu out there. You know what I'm saying? So I was listening to these press conferences, and he's a well-spoken individual, and he was under the tutelage, I guess. Excuse me, take my glasses off. I got eyelashes. When you got long eyelashes, this is what happens. He was under the. I think he's right up in my eyeball, man. Yikes! I'm gonna be one eye freaking Rico on this thing. All right, here we go. So Steve Wilkes was his head coach when he was in the Cardinals, and I was listening to a press conference and introducing Holcomb to the team. And when listening to Holcomb speak, you could hear process in him, right? Fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, and everything that McDermott says, it was almost regurgitated by Al Holcomb. So he might be the right individual to step right into the spot. Now that's if we hire from within. Or you can go external. But with how late it is in the offseason, it would be a detriment to this team to hire someone from outside, because now that outside person might have a few people that he'd like to bring in with him. Yo, I ain't taking that job until I can bring in my linebackers coach, my DB coach, my XYZ. It's just not going to happen. If something like this was going to happen, truly, with Leslie Frazier stepping down, it would have happened a month ago when everybody was available. Damn near freaking during the playoffs, right? If he said, hey, guys, at the end of the season, I'm stepping down, I'm just letting y'all know. And they probably knew that. There was probably conversation in the background between Bean and McDermott. Frazier saying, guys, at the end of the season, man, I'm gonna really take a look to see what I want to do. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? He might be physically tired. He might be tired of the BS that I keep looking like the bad guy, and I'm not. And y'all both know that. So you know what? And I'm playing scenarios in my mind here. So come along with me while I do this. And he's like, you guys are just gonna have to figure out yourselves on how you guys do things. McDermott is all yours. Now, here's the big thing here. McDermott had the Carolina Panthers buzzing. That defense was buzzing. He had some good players over there, right? Josh Norman when he was in his prime at the time. He had Bradbury that just came through. I mean, Bradbury was somewhat new. He had Thomas Davis. He had Luke Kuechly. He had Peppers, I believe, at the time. He had some dogs on that defense. He had some dogs, and McDermott was running that freaking defense. So why not, if McDermott is a defensive guru, that's his thing, take over. You take over. But that's risky, because if that defense ain't what it's supposed to be, which I highly doubt, by the way, but if that defense ain't what it's supposed to be, he's preparing to fall on that knife. He's preparing to fall on that knife. And I've told you that before, because it's going to look bad. It's not going to be a good look if the head coach of this team, defensive minded, doesn't have this team prepared. I just can't see that happening. But what I'd love to see is McDermott say, you know what? Play calling, I'm doing that. I'll still have Al Holcomb as my defensive assistant. I'll still have my guys support me, but I'll be the one calling plays. I'll be the one running this defense. I would not be mad at that at all. Take a look. Shanahan, he's the mastermind on that offense, head coach, and he calls the plays. I'm sure he has the offense coordinator. He calls the plays, right? Who else is McVay? Offensive coordinator, he calls the plays. He's doing that damn thing. I'm trying to think of a defensive coach right now. Staley. I think Staley's the defensive coach for the Chargers. He calls the play. So it's not a bad thing for McDermott to say, you know what? I gave the reins over to a senior guy in And Bill Belichick, thank you. Bill Belichick, defensive guru, most likely calls the plays. He's the guy. So, McDermott, you know this team is under scrutiny, especially in the playoffs. Take your freaking card and you be that guy that's going to sit there and call the plays. You're going to call the plays. All right. Play's going to be blah, 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 blah. All right, let's go. Done. I'm all for it. If you're about to show us how it's done, show us how it's done. Lead this team back to it. And then when Leslie comes back, you rightfully give him back his position. And guess what? You give it back to him and say, see this ring right here? We won the Super Bowl. And this is how I want this thing done. You saw what was happening. Or whoever. Or Leslie Frazier might look at it and say, you know what? I'm good. I think I like being off and not having the pressure, this, that, and the third. Y'all can do what you do. But I'm on board for Team McDermott to run that defense. You're still going to have Al Holcomb. You're still going to have, your defensive coaches right next to you. The game plan, you guys will go through the game plan. You'll let your defensive coordinator run things at defense at practice. But when it comes down to the game, you call the plays, McDermott. No more putting on blame on this person. No more putting on blame on that person. It falls on you. Accountability. Ain't that a word? Accountability? Well, shit, a lot more questions are coming from fans. A lot more questions are coming from fans. I think fans these days, myself especially, or myself included, I'm not sitting on nothing, man. I ain't gonna let anything slide this year. I'm calling out heavy for what it is. Not that I haven't, but a lot of things we kind of let slide a little bit. And more specifically, like this past the playoff game. I'm not saying we let it slide completely, but we're not pressing as hard. This offseason, pressing. It's going to be a full freaking court press. None of this half court press, no, full court press, baby. Everything you do, we're going to be watching that shit. Because this team is too damn talented for us to just la-di-da our way. So take accountability, head coach, and you run it. You do the deed. That's the way I look at it. How do you guys feel about it? Instead of hiring from within, how about you keep everything the way things are and you run the plays? You can still be head coach. You can still, the game plan still be the same thing. You can still go watch the special teamers. You can still go to the running back room. You can still go do all that bullshit. But you can get right back to that defensive room and say, here's the game plan. Here's what it is. I'll let my defensive coordinators handle the business. You guys know what I want done. Handle it. And I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go check out the running backs and see what James Cook is up to. I'm gonna see what Stephon Diggs is up to. I'll be right back. Let me go look at that damn old line. Spencer Brown still some bullshit? Damn. All right, we gotta fix that up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, accountability. And this is the biggest way to take accountability is the head coach saying, I'll take the reins and call the plays going forward. That's major respect. I bet you, I feel very confident. I could pull a Martin and say, you know what, I'm good. I'm gonna close my eyes and say, you got it. You got it, coach. Because I trust you. My man Akeem always said it, man. From BIB, do what got you hired. You came here, 2017, a roster not worth a damn. Actually, I don't want to say not worth a damn because we made the playoffs that year. But a roster not great. I mean, right now in 2017, we were 26th in yards allowed. You were letting brothers just throw all over us. Leslie Frazier was there. McDermott was just getting his feet wet. And the very next year, top 10 defense. The year after that, top 10 defense. Year after that, top 10 defense. That's just what you're saying. Leslie Frazier had a lot to do with that. So let's keep the trend up. He's not there anymore. Don't put somebody else in. You do it. You be that guy. Jump in there and handle your business. Are you guys with that? Do you guys like that? Or are you in the field of, man, go externally. Go get yourself, you know what I'm saying? Go get yourself a coach out there. Question is, I haven't really looked to see what's out there because the names worth even looking at have already taken jobs. You know what would be nice? A Brian Flores. A Brian Flores would have been a nice addition. But you know what? I ain't sleeping on Al Holcomb either. Al Holcomb, well-spoken coach. He seems to have a grasp. And there's something about, think about it. Leslie Frazier is a DB coach, right? McDermott, DB. He used to be a DB. They both used to be DBs when they played. And the defensive backfield is on point. Holcomb is a linebackers coach. You know what I'm saying? So he might, there's a sense of nastiness that comes from a linebackers coach. You need to be aggressive. You need to hit ball, see ball, hurt ball. That's the type of, you know what I'm saying, linebacking coach. I mean, if you've ever played ball, go back and look at your coach and look at the linebacker coach. A nasty mother effer, right? So a guy like Holcomb coming through might be just the thing we need. The little bit of nastiness we need to this defense. I feel like this year was a lot of finesse. A lot of finessing. Injuries happen, I get it, but a lot of finesse. I think we just need to get to the nitty-gritty nastiness if we go that route of going Al Holcomb way. My man Tebow says, yo, Rico, I disagree. Flores runs a 3-4 and specializes in 3-4, not 4-3. I'm aware what he runs. I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware. But, like, you're coming to my team, so this is what I want. Now, would it have worked out? Who knows? Who knows? But do they run a 3-4 in Pittsburgh right now? I don't know if they do run a 3-4 in Pittsburgh. But he went over to Pittsburgh, and it was the linebackers coach. I mean, he was in a predicament in the first place. He needed to be hired somewhere. But nonetheless, the point I'm trying to make is we need a sense of nastiness. That's the point I'm trying to get to. So Al Holcomb, being a defensive coach, being a linebacking type of coach, that's what he handled when he was a positional coach, could bring that nastiness to his defense. We'll soon find out. But Leslie Frazier being gone, it could hurt. It could hurt. Or it's a blessing. Now, I want to put this out there. I don't know if I can. I'm not going to say who. It's a light source. A light source. I don't want to say it's a deep. I got sources that say it's very light. That's the best way I can put it. And there are some players on that team, on this team, that kind of grew tired of Frazier's defense. Yes. You know what I mean? So maybe this might be a good thing. Maybe this might be a good thing. And I don't want you guys to say, yo, Rico said this. I said it's a light source. Light. I'm talking about extra feather light, but a source nonetheless. Right? And they kind of grew tired of the I don't know. So maybe this is something that we need. Something new, something fresh, just a different angle to look at things, and we'll see how this plays out. Because Lord knows this is a big year. Josh Allen's contract hits this year. We're going to be tight on the purse. The purse strings are going to be tight. We won't be able to do the things we want to do. A lot of things are happening. Now, a defensive coordinator vacancy that's happening in Buffalo, wherever it gets filled, we still have things to handle. Here's another light source that I have. Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer is out there talking about state tax this and half my money gone and you know what I'm saying, different scenario. I mean, everything points to him going to Florida, him probably going to Dallas, wherever he decides to go. I really can't see him returning to Buffalo. However, light source. I was talking to someone, and it's wide open. He is actually potentially wanting to come back. He would prefer to return to Buff. He preferred to return to Buff, but he'll let it play out. But why would you prefer to return to Buff? I get it. You've played here the longest. You know the system very well. But fam, you have an opportunity to go earn your contract. You've earned it. Don't come back. Don't come back. Joshua says, light source, you mean Twitter? Heck no, man. No, get out of here with that. I mean another source. I mean, I like that. No, but definitely not Twitter. You cannot trust anything on that good old app. Anyway, but let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. We've got moves that need to be made on this team. It starts in the safety room, and I was supposed to do POP today. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna do it till I guess I'll maybe next week or maybe Friday, depending on how it is. I have my daughter's birthday this Friday, so I might not be able to make it work. But anyway, if you bring Poyer back, you got Poyer and Hyde together again. Fantastic. If Poyer leaves, there's a void open. We don't know what the status is with DeMar Hamlin. Christian Benford was slated potentially they drafted him to potentially move him to the safety room. So it could be a Benford/Hyde combination. We know it's not going to be Jaquan Johnson. So now there's a void at safety. Do we draft a safety early in this draft? Is that a first round pick to make? Another key absence, the linebacker room. Tremaine Edmunds. I know a lot of us have had things to say about Tremaine Edmunds, but at the end of the day, the boy can play. And him leaving, along with Poyer, those are two big gaps left wide open. And I ain't ready to see Terrell Bernard be next to Milano. I'm just saying. I'm not ready for that. Are you guys ready for that? Terrell Bernard and Milano? I'm not hating on Bernard. I really am not. But I didn't see enough for me to like, ooh, we got something there. So Poyer, chances are he's out. I can't see him coming back. Tremaine Edmunds, I think somebody asked him, hey, man, about coming back at the side of the third. You know what I mean? He didn't give you the cookie cutter like, well, the Buffalo Bills trusted me and they drafted me. I'd love to be back and see you. No, my man said, man, we're going to play it out. He didn't even.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Try to mince his words, which I respect. I'm not going to give you guys the satisfaction of knowing what I'm going to do. I'm going to play that shit out. I'm going to see what's out there, and we're going to play it out. And that he should do. And if they give him a big bag, because right now, if he gets tagged, the Bills are going to have to pay that man $20 million, around that mark. If you do a long-term deal, he's gonna get more than Milano. Milano's getting paid what, 14 mil, 14, 15 mil? What are the Bills willing to pay Tremaine Edmonds at age 24? You gotta pay him. Oh, you want to be cheap? You don't want to pay him? Then you're gonna have to let him walk. And that sucks because you've groomed this man. You've groomed this man to now watch the product that you've groomed, that you've developed, and now he's going to go elsewhere and flourish. How do you sit there? And that's the business. That's the name of the business. That's the name of the business sometimes. You got to let brothers walk. And then you got Tremaine, then you got Ed Oliver. I'm sorry. Now that time has passed and I'm looking at this roster. I'm looking at what's going on. And I don't want to get too deep into it because we're going to do the POP, the process or problem. We're going to find out who is part of the problem and who's part of the process. But right now, I am confident in who we have in DaQuan Jones, who we have. You know what I'm saying? Tim Settle didn't have a big year. I know he didn't, but I'm sure he's better than that. But DaQuan Jones coming through, I feel good about that. Jordan Phillips, you can go. I mean, we're going to have to revamp that line a little bit. But Jordan Phillips, you can go. But DaQuan Jones, you can build around DaQuan Jones. I know he ain't a young fish, but you can build around that. That was the nastiness we had on that line. But if we move on from Oliver, we got room to kind of finagle and pay Edmonds. But if you're not trying to do it and you want to let Edmonds walk, oh, this defense is going to be different. And maybe Frazier's like, hold up now. Hyde's coming back from a neck injury. Hopefully he's 100%. If he's not, okay. Poyer is probably good as gone. We don't know what we're doing with Edmonds. Ed Oliver, we don't know what's happening. I didn't see anything good from Ed Oliver enough. Shit, this defense is going to be looking different. Trey White ain't 100%. Hopefully by next year, he'll be back to tip-top shape. Yo, there's a lot of question marks on this defense going into this year. There's a lot of question marks. Hopefully we get some answers. Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be different. This year, I'm going to keep it a buck, man. Hold on. Let me read Tebow's comments first. WGR today said that we are waiting on Hamlin and said that if he can play, he wants to play. Also, Daniel Jeremiah said that is very weak safety draft. So there you go. DeMar Hamlin, it's a question mark. So like whether he plays or whether he doesn't play, that is a make sure you're 100% healthy to even just enjoy life. Enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? If playing football will hinder or, you know what I'm saying, give you less quality of life because if something happens or you're sitting there, you know what I mean, worried about the next hit you take, yo, that's a career for you, my guy. At least you can enjoy your life. You got a chance to see you play in the NFL, but I'm not saying that. Maybe he comes back. But when he does come back, it ain't like he an elite player. Let's keep it a buck. Now that I know he's good to go, he ain't elite. So we got to do something about that safety position. That safety position is void. It's open. So, and now let me just keep it a buck. Can I keep it a buck with y'all? Let me keep it a buck. This is not a say it with your chest. This is just to keep it a buck with you. I felt really good about this year coming up. I really did. I felt really good. I felt confident. I think we all felt confident. This team was built to win. Now that we are going into 2023 to 24 season, 23 season, we got a Von Miller coming off a knee injury. We have an Ed Oliver that underperformed. And I stand by it. He underperformed, in my opinion. We have a Poirier potentially leaving, Edmonds potentially leaving, Trey White coming back from ACL injury. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to get back to all-pro level, in my opinion. So we have 5 big question marks on this team that we've got to fill. And then our offensive, our GM tells us, I am not going to be a spender. Okay, don't spend. But the safety class is weak. So what you gonna do? I don't feel as confident going into this offseason. Defensively, I don't. This is why it makes sense for McDermott to say, okay, let me right the ship because I see where this is going. Hey, Brandon, you do what you need to do. Let me hold it down and just kind of get these guys on track so we can stay on brand and run a great defense. You take the reins, McDermott, because there's a lot of holes that's going to be on this defense that Brandon's going to have to fill. Will he do it? Absolutely. Do I have confidence in him? Absolutely. But if we sit here and we play these games and let these players walk and think that we have the depth to run things, we don't. We don't have the depth. Show me where the depth is. Poirier leaves, you're going to put Terrell Bernard in there or Terrell Dotson? You feel good about that? I didn't think so. Defensive line. We had one of the most missed tackles on this defensive line. AJ Epinesa, one of the guys that misses a lot of tackles. Although he had, 6 sacks this year? Missed a lot of tackles. Bad angles. It's not good. It's not good, baby. It's not good. So we're going to be watching very closely what we do this offseason with this defense. And when we have a big piece of this defense gone and Leslie Frazier that keeps the level-headed defense. He's not a rah-rah coach. You see him in press conferences. You see him. He's very low-key and tells you how it is, and that's what it is. So that's a veteran leader gone on that defense. A voice of reason gone. So that defensive coordinator is going to be big. We still got to fill the voids, but who's leading this defense? You got to have a great leader in that defense. And it makes sense. You just left a guy that's known around the league, Super Bowl winner, has been a part of a good defense when he played. He knows what a good defense looks like. Now he's stepping down. You got to do it, McDermott. Pick up that clipboard and you call the plays and you run things. You're going to have to be like these guys, man. And we got to toughen up around this defense, man. We got some guys that we just need to get nasty. We are not nasty enough on this defense. We're not. We got to get nasty. We do. Because there are teams that are hard-nosed, grind it out. I'm going to tell you right now, if we play the Browns and really I'm talking about full strength Browns. You know what I'm saying? That we don't match well. We don't. And I know we played them. I know we did. But boy, oh boy, if they were full strength, it would have been a different story. But we got some things to handle on this defense. This offseason is going to be huge. But Leslie Frazier being gone opens up a grand opportunity for McDermott. A grand opportunity. Will he seize it and will he take it? I would love to hear that McDermott is going to be calling shots. He will name a defensive coordinator. He's got to. But he calls the plays. I'll be thrilled with that. Question is, will he? Will he? And that's what we got to find out. So, folks, here's the deal. I love this team. I think we all love this team. We know how good this team can be. But we can't kid ourselves. We're going into a very tough offseason. We're going to a very tough offseason with a lot of injury guys that were injured that are coming back. How 100% will they be? Time will tell. But we've got to. There's some things we've got to add to this defense for us to stay cold-blooded, because Joe Burrow, he ain't going nowhere. Pat Mahomes just won his second damn Super Bowl. Herbert, he just finally made his first playoff, so he's got a taste of that. The Jets, they're probably going to get Derek Carr, or they're probably going to get Aaron Rodgers, one of the two. They'll be primed and ready to go. You got the Dolphins that have got a bevy of receivers out there. Who knows what's going to happen with the quarterback position? But Tua, when Tua's playing for them, he gives them a better chance to win. So we're listen. We this AFC is no joke. The Denver Broncos, they were some ass last year, but now they got Sean Payton. Sean Payton, when he came to, I think, the Saints with Drew Brees, he had Drew Brees humming. But Drew Brees is an OG, triple OG. And so was Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, you know what I'm saying, is gonna get right, and he's gonna be back on, you know what I'm saying, back on doing his thing. So there's a lot of things going on in the AFC. That's why it is imperative that this Bills defense stays the, you know what I mean? They parts of the course and just really don't take away too much from this defense, man. If you've got to bring back Edmonds, which is a big part of this defense, you do it. And sometimes you got to pay brothers, man. He's only 24 years of age. He's only 24. Now this is the time to say he's only 24. Before, we were giving the excuse he's only 24 because some of the mistakes he was making. He'll get better. He's only 24. He'll get better. Well, folks, he's 24. He's still got youth on his side, and he's got 5 years under his belt of experience. And we saw a big jump. We saw a big jump with him this past year. You going to let that walk? And I'm going to tell you, Scott Blakely, you said it, man. This AFC is no joke. You think that we're going to run it right back? No way, sir. Because Deshaun Watson, I'm going to tell you right now, Deshaun Watson coming 2 years off and then coming back rusty as ever, he did not look good. He definitely did not look good. But you think that's going to last long? Heck no. He's too good of a talent. And that Browns team is too damn good. He's going to have these boys running and doing well. This AFC is going to be something. Steelers are going to be better. The Ravens, they should bring back Lamar Jackson. They're always competitive. So we've got to keep our foot on the pedal. So you can't just pass this along, McDermott. This is crucial. This is crucial, man. This is very crucial right now. We might look at it and kind of, we'll just fill somebody. We'll just fill somebody because this defense is always good. But Leslie Frazier is a big piece. Leslie Frazier was a big part of it. He kept these guys humbled and in place. Now that's gone. McDermott, that's on you, bro. Take over, baby. Take over. And I think that would make a lot of people happy. That really would. But I'm gonna tell you, man, there are some free agents out there that we are going to have to look at. Bobby Wagner, recently released. Now the chances are he could probably end up going back to LA because they wanted to release him before a certain time and then work something out. But there's a lot of things that need to happen right now. Defensive tackle. We may lose that Oliver. I mean, I'm not saying we picked up his 5th year option. Now, whether we keep him, that's in a whole other ballgame. If we move on from him, what are we going to do? Are we content with what we have on this line right now? I don't know. There's some guys out there. But our coach also, Brandon Bean also says he ain't paying a lot of money to these cats out here. Jesse Bates. If Poyer doesn't come back, Jesse Bates is going to be available. Jesse Bates just recently played on a franchise tag. I can't see them franchise tagging him again. I can't. What are we doing at the running back position? I already talked about last week. And a big reasoning behind me loving what we have I can't say loving because I don't love it. I don't love it. Devin Singletary is going to be probably departing. It's going to be the James Cook and Nyheim Hines show. But Nyheim Hines is one of the top 15 paid running backs in the league, and he's a freaking backup. But he also kickoffs. He does kick returns and punt returns. I want him to be part of the process because he's multiple. He can run the rock and be able. We could use him in the run game, but also he kick returns and punt returns. So there's value to him. So maybe he is worth that $4 or $5 million. But if we can save that $4 or $5 million and cut him and go out there and get, you know what I'm saying, and add to the bank and go and really, if we could use that money to pay somebody on the team, then so be it. I'm also okay with that too. How do you justify paying $5 million? Five point something to somebody that's going to be the backup? That's tough. That's tough. And there's always some good running backs in the draft. So that's another thing to look at. Boy, do we have a lot of work to do on this on this team. And it's funny because we just came off of a 13-3 record. But there are some guys out there that we could definitely bring in. But we don't got the moolah for that. What do? I'm looking at some free agents. Levante David is out there, right? Levante David, 33 years old. He's a little older. I don't think he's going to be. There you go. Levante David. I see you guys writing that there. Levante David, 33 years of age. Was the best linebacker on the Bucs by far. What do we do with him? Is that something that we can come in there? But he's 33. How much are you willing to pay a 33-year-old? I mean, we do want to get younger now. We're not trying to get, we just brought in Von Miller. And then you're going to bring another 30, you're going to be another 30-plus-year-old? I don't know. That's why it makes sense to freaking bring back Edmonds. You got to pay. If you're going to pay, you got two linebackers that are legit, that really control, you know what I'm saying, what goes on in the middle of that field. When Edmonds is on the field, you got to throw over that 6'5" frame. I'm just saying. So, folks, I mean, I didn't want to go live very long. I wanted to get in and get out and just say this to conclude, right? I don't want to go through free agency. We're going to have a moment that we can talk about free agency. But really, at the end of the day, this is what I wanted to come on here and say. Let's not act like Leslie Frazier was the freaking problem and we're applauding that he's decided to step down. You don't know what's coming our way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he sees something and he's like, you know what, this year, let me take a chill pill for a minute and I'll let you guys run things. Because it seems as though people are looking at me like I'm the reason that, you know what I mean, we're not having success in the playoffs. So I'll let y'all do what you do. I would love for McDermott to be the one that says, you know what? You didn't drop the ball, Leslie Frazier. That's cool. You just passed it along to me. So pass that ball to me. I'll hold it down because this is my team. I will hold it down. When you're ready to come back, come on through and it's back to yours. Because we're aligned like that. But boy, oh boy, if McDermott doesn't take the reins and he gives it to somebody else and we just nosedive, I'm not here to use, and I'm not here for it because a lot of people are using Coach Frazier as the scapegoat as to why we haven't had success. No, I ain't buying it. It's the players that play, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Is he to blame a little bit here and there? Maybe some bad calls here and there, of course. But overall, we didn't play well. But this is a big void. This is a big deal. A lot of people might not look at it. It's like the Bengals. The Bengals were kind of shook. They were about to lose Sweet Lou. I don't know his last name, Ferragamo. I don't know what his last name is, but Sweet Lou was about to be taken as a head coach. That would have been a big blow to the Bengals. And the fact that the Bengals brought him back, they're like, whoo, crisis averted. Let's run that thing back. That was going to be a huge loss. So us losing Frazier is not like, oh, no big deal. No, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That man has had this defense, a top 10 defense for 4 years straight. So it's a big deal. It is a big deal. So hopefully McDermott sees the opportunity here. hopefully McDermott notices that this is the opportunity, that maybe this is where I can just kind of slide in and take over. Because I remember a few years back when the defense wasn't playing the way he wanted to play, McDermott was like, yo, move over, man. Let me call these plays. Let me set it up. And it worked. It was successful. Let's roll. My man James says, oh, sorry, Rico. Frazier is no big deal. Likely a blessing. See, this is what I'm talking about. Some people, and I'm not saying you're wrong, James, but some people do feel that way. They feel like, man, get Leslie Frazier out of here. James, I better not be seeing you saying, shit, I miss Leslie Frazier. Our defense is garbage right now. We ain't doing what we're supposed to do. And those that were saying, man, sayonara, sayonara, Mr. freaking Frazier. Nah. And hold on, Jim Sanderson, hold on a second. Jim Sanderson is he says a top 10 defense statistically that collapses in big games. Is that really what you want? Well, we had a big game week 6 against the Chiefs. Handled that. We had a big game against the Packers. Handled that. We had a big game against the Rams. Handled that. You know what I'm saying? So we handled some big games. Though we just collectively as a whole team played poo-poo in the playoffs. We just got straight up beat. Period. Anyway. But we'll find out. We'll see. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And we're gonna be closely watching what goes on. And we'll go from there, folks. We'll go from there. So listen, and let me end this on a brighter note. What's exciting about what's coming to this team is we're getting guys back healthy. That was the big thing. Because if you look at what happened to us this year, we had some injuries to key players. We're like, ooh, that one hurt, right? Micah Hyde, one of the biggest leaders on this team, going down. That one hurt. Because now it changes everything on how Poyer plays. Okay, Jaquan Johnson next to me. Okay, I can't do certain things. I can't play as freely as I want to. I can't look at him and he knows exactly what I'm thinking and go do what I do. It doesn't work well like that. Von Miller goes down. Ouch. That's a big one. Trey White never really recovered the way we need to. So we're playing 2 rookies at one point. We had Elam and Benford at one point. We had Dane Jackson holding it down. Just never could. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. So we're going to have to really tighten up. And the fact that we're getting a lot of these guys back, Micah Hyde coming back, Von Miller coming back, Trey White coming back now going into his second year. You know what I mean? Post injury. So that'll be nice to see. I hope he gets back to it. I really do. I don't think he will, but I really hope he does. He comes back to old Trey White. And then we're going to hit the draft. And this is where Bean can really find himself, you know what I mean, a dog in this draft, a couple dogs in this draft, and let's get going. This is huge. This is a big freaking offseason. We're all going to be paying attention. So before you get out of here, smash that like. Understand that Scott Blakely's speaking truth right now. He says, thanks, Rico. Hit that Mafia like, smash it, and let's go, man. There's going to be a lot of free agency stuff going on. You guys stay tuned. My man Z-Bot was under the weather on Monday. He wasn't able to hit the live stream, but he's going to be hitting that live stream tomorrow. So tune in. He's going to have his take on Leslie Frazier. He might feel that Leslie Frazier is some ass, and he wants no parts of Leslie Frazier. I'm not in that camp. I respect Leslie Frazier. I think Leslie Frazier was a big part of this defense, and it's going to be a big void of him leaving. So we got to fill it. Luckily, we have a defensive-minded coach that can fill right in. But the question is, will he? Will he fill in for Leslie Frazier? We'll soon find out. Big offseason coming. Folks, I appreciate you guys. I want to really come on. I told you I was going to come on and do a quick thing and get the heck out. So Leslie Frazier gone. Vacancies there. We got some pieces that we need to fill on this team. There's a lot of questions this year, but the good thing about this team is we have Brandon Beane, and Brandon Beane loves his team, and he's going to get us right. He is going to get us right, and we're not going to use Leslie Frazier as a scapegoat. We just got to rally. We're going to rally around this defense. We're going to rally around, Coach McDermott, And hopefully he takes over and we get right back on track like we normally are. I ain't worried too much, but I do have some questions. I do have some questions because if we don't fix the things that we need to fix, this could be a rough year. This could be a rough year. But the good thing is we got number 17. And when you got number 17, you always have a chance. That window is wide the F open. But defensively, we got to get healthy, and we should be all right. So, folks, that's it for me, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all really do. I do. We out. Enjoy yourselves. We're going to try to get back on track this offseason. Listen, man, smash that like. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, man. Let's try to keep that subscribership up there. Listen, man, we're going to try to do some new things this year, so this offseason. So bear with us. We'll keep you guys updated on everything. And listen, hit us up on all social platforms. Hit me up on all social platforms. Right now, I'm on Twitter, Rico_BF. And we go from there, man. So, folks, enjoy yourself. I see my man Richard. What's up, Rich? Rich says, damn right, Rico, but it could go bad this year. Oh, it could. But we don't want to talk like that. We want to keep things light and positive. But we all are going to be watching what freaking Brandon Beane does. Because if he pulls a move and we're like, ooh, you did that? We on your ass, boy. We are going to be on Brandon Beane's ass, man. Ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe. But I trust in him, and I think he's going to get us right. So, folks, enjoy yourself. Have a great week. And we'll get you guys back on Friday. Hopefully I can get you guys back on Friday. So until next time, it's your boy Rico, and I'm gone. Let's go.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Granger. Granger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Granger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.